In this video I make this gravity simulation where I've got this ball bouncing up and down on this line. If you've ever wondered how to simulate gravity using Scratch, then this is quite a straightforward starting point. In this video I code this as if it's live so that you can see all the steps on how to make this bouncing ball. Okay, I've got a new project in Scratch that I've called Gravity. And in this project, I've got a ball which I'm going to apply some gravity to, so it will fall down the screen. And when you first start thinking about how you might program this in Scratch, you might think, well, after a flag click, inside a forever loop, I want it to change the Y position of the ball by a certain amount every time. And this amount has to be a negative amount because we're going down the screen and not up. So if I choose -5, this is what happens. The ball falls down the screen. It doesn't really look like gravity at the moment, and a couple of things are happening which I want to fix. First of all, it gets stuck at the bottom. And so after I've clicked the flag, I want to move it back up to the top again, or close to the top. So I'll ask it to go straight to 0, 170 after the flag is clicked. So let's see what happens. It jumps up to the top and then just moves gradually down the screen. So why doesn't it look like gravity? Well, it's going a bit slow at the moment. So in order to play with the speed of it, I'm going to make a new variable, which I call the Yspeed. So this is the speed in the Y direction. Now it has to be for this sprite only because every sprite on the screen might have a different Y speed. And so I want this Y speed to apply only to this sprite. And I'm going to put this in here, which means that I've got to set the Y speed to something after I click the flag. So I chose -5 before. Well, let's just try -10 and see what happens. So it's a bit faster, but it still doesn't really look like gravity. And so you might ask the question, why is gravity different to what's happening at the moment? How is it different? Well, gravity speeds things up. So it starts out slow and then it gets faster and faster. And that, of course, is called acceleration. So we need this Y speed to get faster and faster after the flag click, so that it starts out slow and then speeds up. So I'm going to make another variable called gravity. And this gravity can be for all sprites. Now, you may have heard people say that everything falls at the same speed. And what that really means is that everything speeds up, everything accelerates at the same speed under gravity. So this gravity can be a variable for all of the sprites on the screen, so they all speed up by the same amount every time. So I'm going to set gravity to a certain amount after the flag is clicked. Let's try -1. And the Y speed can start out at 0. So as soon as the flag is clicked, the Y speed is 0. So in the first frame, it doesn't move. And then as it goes through this forever loop, I want it to change by gravity. So it'll speed up by -1 every time it goes through this loop. So inside the loop, I want to change the Y speed by the gravity amount. So every time through the loop, the actual Y position changes by the Y speed, but the Y speed changes by gravity, so things get faster and faster. So let's see how this looks. In order to give the ball something to interact with on the screen, I'm going to get a new sprite, which will be a line for it to bounce up and down And I'm going to put this close to the bottom. So inside the code for the ball, inside this forever loop, I need an if statement that's going to sense if the ball is touching the line. Now, what is going to happen when the ball touches the line? Well, the ball is heading on down the screen with a certain y speed. And when it touches the line, I want that y speed to change from a negative number to a positive number, so that it goes back up the screen again. So I'm going to set the y speed to a positive amount. And that positive amount is going to be the y speed as it is at the moment, times by minus 0.9. Well, why minus 0.9? So whatever speed the ball hits the line with is going to be a negative number. It's going to take that speed and it's going to turn it into a positive number. A minus times a minus is a plus. And so it'll start heading on back up the screen again. But every time it's just going to be a little bit less. So I don't want it to head right up, back up to the screen to the point where it started. I could do that if I made it minus 1, but I'm making it a little bit less, minus 0.9, so that it loses a little bit of speed every time it bounces. So that goes inside the if statement, and this if statement goes inside this forever loop. All right, let's see how that looks. My screen looks a little bit laggy. I think it's because the computer's trying to do too much at the same time. It's recording a video and working this code. All right, now something unusual happened there. You may have noticed that it suddenly slowed down and started to drag a bit. That wasn't my laggy computer. What happened there was, the ball was going so slow that it went through one frame, found that it was touching the line, and changed the y speed from a negative to a positive number. But it was going so slowly that the next time through the loop, it was still touching the line. So it changed the y speed from a positive number back to a negative number again. Now I can fix that with another if statement. And this is going to go around the if statement that I already have. And it's simply going to ask if the y speed is smaller than 0. So it's not going to do anything if this y speed has already been turned round to a positive number. So as the ball's heading down the screen, the y speed will be a negative number, so it will be smaller than 0. And then it will do this if touching line statement. But once it's done that, it'll turn into a positive number. So the next time through the loop, it'll skip it because this y speed will be greater than 0. And there we have it. A bouncing ball, slightly laggy, bouncing up and down on a line. When you try this, you probably won't be recording a video at the same time, so hopefully it'll work a bit smoother for you.